About baseball in the country. Joining me here on Scoreline to tell us how this game is developing is none other than the president from the Baseball Federation of Kenya, Titus Mutwiri. Good afternoon, Titus. How are you?
Good afternoon to you, Robinson.
Welcome to Scoreline. And let's begin. A few days ago, I think on Thursday, you guys had an agreement with Japan. Bring us up to speed. What was this agreement on?
Many viewers and listeners may not be aware, but Japan is the leading country in baseball in the world. Baseball was introduced to Japan by the Americans, but for the last 150 years, Japan has been playing excellent baseball. And if you want to work further, then you work with others. And Baseball Federation of Kenya thought that we need to extend our tentacles and reach out to other countries that are doing well. So what we have seen is just the beginning of it, because Japan Africa Baseball and Softball Foundation, which we call JAPS, has been doing some extensive work in Africa, starting from Nigeria, then went to Ghana, Tanzania, and Kenya is the fourth country, where we are signing a memorandum of understanding or a low-level bilateral agreement that will help us develop the sport across the country, but mostly through reaching out to coaches and training coaches and bringing a program that will help the coaches become better in the art and in the sport. And not only the coaches, ideally, it will also extend to development of fields. Because as we know, we do not have dedicated baseball fields in Kenya. The only field that we have at the moment is at the Meru University of Science and Technology, and developed a while ago, but ideally just some space with some dugouts. But we hope that we should get minimal fields in the coming years, especially through these collaborations that we are building.
Yes, we are talking about baseball in the country. There are people who are asking themselves, when did this game come to Kenya? How long has it been around? And, what is the state of baseball in the country as we speak? If you can, run us through the years that the game has been in the country and, its development.
Baseball was begun, or rather the first introduction, ideally, in pockets of few people, expatriates coming here, was in the 1970s. Brought about by the U.S. Marines who were in the country by then. But then after the U.S. Marines, we started receiving expatriates, sometimes either from the U.S. Steel and others from Japan. And if I would give my case, I saw baseball first when I was 13 years old in Meru School. And we had a Japanese who was an expatriate and doing his businesses, but decided to introduce the sport in our school. And this is the same case that has replicated in many other places where baseball has found itself over the years. In the late 90s, then it got deeper roots. And in 2002, it was registered as a Kenya Baseball and Softball Association. But then later on, Baseball Federation of Kenya and Softball Federation of Kenya was advised to split. And now we formed the Baseball Federation of Kenya, and then Softball Federation of Kenya was formed separately. But these two sports ideally have got the same mother, which is the World Baseball and Softball Confederation, which is the international federation. But besides that, baseball at the moment has visibility in over 20 counties. Out of the 47 counties in the country, and we want to expand this and to reach out to the counties that are not yet reached with the sport, and we hope that some of the activities that we are doing at the moment will definitely help us achieve this goal.
How's the reception been? You've said that you are in 20 counties so far out of the 47 that we have, and you're trying to spread this game into other counties. How's the reception been? I mean, Kenyans generally are known to love football, basketball, hockey, rugby, volleyball. How's the reception been, and athletics?
It's interesting. I love sports and I love other sports, but it's important to remind us that we need to diversify from the conventional sports so that every Kenyan child can get an opportunity to try out a sport or even a new sport that they are not used to. And the beauty of venturing into baseball for some of the Kenyan children is mostly to the roadmap or the pathway from playing baseball in their communities. It's shorter, ideally, to getting to represent the national team, as opposed to many other conventional sports that we know, like soccer and the like. Because so many kids could be playing soccer, yes, but if we ask how many of them will make it to the national team, how many of them will be able to represent the country in the coming years, yes. Sometimes the odds are too low. And it's important to help in diversification so that some of our children and kids can definitely have a chance to try a new sport. So for those who have tried baseball, ideally within 5, 6, 7 years of play, they make their way to the national team. When we, in 2019, we managed to host the pre-Olympics qualifier at Lenana School, and Kenya made its debut in the international scene with baseball competition. At that time, we were not categorized or ranked globally, but we then received the ranking of number 63 yes. in the world. And in Africa, we are currently number 5 in Africa. Yes. And many kids who have started playing baseball at the moment have got immense opportunities to be able to represent the country and their communities, maybe at national level or even at the international level.
Let's talk about facilities. I believe in any sport, for you to excel, facilities also play a big role. You say that at the moment we do have one field that is used for baseball in the country, but aside from that, also take a look at the other facilities that are used for playing, just like the bats. How easy or how difficult is it for the players to acquire such?
It's challenging because one reason is we do not have the equipment that are used to play baseball being made locally. We do not have any company in Africa actually that produces balls like this. We do not have any company in Africa that produces gloves like this. So what that means is that we rely mostly on either importing the equipment or donations from outside. And what we are doing, it's only recently that we are trying now to make wooden bats yes. Using our local carpenters. So because of this and also the facilities, the inadequacy of facilities has been a challenge that we don't have fields dedicated for baseball. We convert sometimes soccer fields or rugby fields and mark them so that they can allow us to play baseball. But moving forward, that's why we want these collaborations. We have now started collaboration with the Japan Africa Baseball and Softball Foundation. The end goal is hopefully to have fields that are dedicated to baseball. Yes. We are also collaborating with some other organizations in the United States. Yes. I will probably mention that we have some expatriates from North America who are currently putting up a field dedicated for baseball, softball, and the Little League at the Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. The university has offered around 7 acres of land. Yes. For the development of the sport. What will happen is that they are bringing in expertise, and we will have that field maybe ready by the end of the year or thereafter, and this will be a great opportunity for Kenya to showcase a space for international events, and definitely many countries that play baseball will be flooding to Kenya once that field is complete, because they will have a venue near the capital city where we can host international activities. We don't have enough fields yet. Yes. We need more collaborations to get more done.
You mentioned universities, and I looked at most of the teams that are taking part in the league are also from universities. Why is it that these rather universities, or rather most people in universities, are willing to come to play the game?
Ideally, what we may not be aware is that baseball starts from a very low age. We start introducing kids to baseball when they are either 5, 6, 7.
Yes.
Those who are in the universities have only maybe come in because they have learnt about it late. But the best time to introduce children to baseball is when they are at at their lower primary school level. And we have categories of under 12. We have an under 12 national team. We have an under 15 national team.
Yes.
We have an under 18 national team, under 23, and seniors. So those who are in the universities are playing, some of them in the under 23 category and in the senior category. But definitely we have all the other categories represented. Yes.
Having all the other categories represented. Before we wind up the interview, what are some of the events that we should look forward to from the Baseball Federation of Kenya?
We have introduced and launched in the last 2 weeks what we call women baseball. And this is dedicated to women, girls and women, because in Africa we don't have many countries that have been doing the women baseball sport.
Yes.
But at the moment we have South Africa, we have Uganda, we have Tanzania and Kenya.
Yes.
And 2 weeks ago I just came back from the East Asia in Chinese Taipei, where we had the WBSC, World Baseball Softball Confederation Congress, and we agreed with the other African countries that we need to boost the level of women baseball in Africa. And we have scheduled to have a continental qualifier towards the World Cup later in the year or very early next year. So women baseball is one that is growing very rapidly. And 2 weeks ago, we had a launch that brought together 10 to 11 counties or teams from across the country, from as far as Mombasa and Kilifi to Don Bosco in Karen. And we had a very good launch. And women across the country have got an opportunity also to showcase their expertise in baseball. Moving forward, we have a version of baseball that we call Baseball 5, which uses a softer ball, not as hard as the hard ball.
Yes.
So this softer ball is we use the hard to bat.
Yes.
It's a new version of baseball. We call it Baseball 5 because it is played by 5 people against 5. The other conventional baseball is played by 9 against 9.
Yes.
So this Kenya participated, Baseball Federation of Kenya and Softball Federation of Kenya participated in the Africa Continental Qualifier, and we beat all the African countries save for South Africa, and we are going to Mexico on 6th of November 2022 to represent the continent in the Baseball 5 inaugural World Cup.
Of course, we'll be looking forward to that. Thanks a lot, Titus Muturi from the Baseball Federation of Kenya, for coming, of course, and giving us insights on the agreement between Kenya and Japan when it comes to baseball, and of course what to expect from the national teams before the year ends. Thanks a lot for your time, Titus Muturi. Right now, Arsenal fans